The sun has blazed my shoulders, it's hanging my shadow from the vagaries of my past. It's a story that's so familiar to anyone who's seen and done the same. So I'll explain how we're the sons of avarice. I walking forward towards my life. I could walk through every wall. I was 6
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Once again, new series for us here, the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Rocky Game 150 brought to you by Jinx Shifters. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason over here, Signature Esports.
Welcome everybody to another great night of racing. We're live here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and boy, it's going to be a hot one. I hope you all stay hydrated here tonight and got some umbrellas, because I know these drivers are going to be working for every inch of this long 110 lap race. I am your host, Alan Brown, and I'm joined in the booth by Mr. Alan English. Alan, how you doing today, man?
I'm also trying to stay hydrametated or whatever that new word is, but yeah, man, Atlanta's always fun. This will be, this is the last year before they repave this thing and rebank it and all. So still got an old racing surface. It's bumpy, it's abrasive, and as you mentioned, it's hot. So look for some guys hitting these bumps, getting loose, wearing their tires out. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, down there on pit road, we know he's always going to be a cool cat down there. It's Mr. Adam Turner. Adam, I have a feeling you're probably going to be munching on some of that ice rather than having some drinks.
Both, actually, but it's only 127 on the track, so that I think we're going to see a little slipperiness here at this quad oval, which I think, is an interesting term, the quad oval, and I think we're going to see some cool stuff happen there as far as maybe somebody gets spun or whatever. It's going to be hard track to tame here. We have almost 30 cars, and these guys are fighting to get in that playoffs. The playoffs are a couple weeks away, so really looking forward to this one.
That indeed. As we come here to this 1.5-mile quad oval, so not going to be too slow paced here for the 110 laps, about 165 miles, give or take. Kind of like we said, nice, hot, sunny, kind of what you expect down here in Georgia. Also going to bring us here to that key to the race, and that's going to be managing that rubber. Everyone knows Atlanta is a abrasive racing surface, but you start to add some of these temperatures up in there, man, it's going to be tough for these drivers to last a while on those things.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy in real life NASCAR about between drivers and track owners and stuff about whether to repave this thing or not, whether to rebank it or not. That it's pretty split down the middle of people that want to keep it as it is, because it's the oldest surface in NASCAR right now, and a lot of people want to keep it that way, but still there's a bunch of folks that would like to see some new pavement laid down here. Beating the drums of progress, so to speak, and wanting to move on from the era of bumpy and slippery.
So, yeah.
You know, I don't know why you'd want to do that. I mean, progressive. Let's change things up. Let's keep it like 1950. I mean, you know, you can't win with NASCAR or NASCAR fans. So it'll be interesting to see how they do it in the future and how it works. But what we do know is it does work right now the way it's laid out. So that may be the complaint from the fans, as it is going to be fast.
That it is, as we're seeing speeds approach 190 miles per hour, which in these Xfinity cars that have a lot of horsepower, not a whole lot of aero to help them out, that's moving pretty quick as practice finishes up. And we kind of saw there in practice that the top 10 were relatively close, all within about a tenth of a second of each other. So I think a good starting position here today is going to be a definite key, apart from managing all those tires.
Yeah, it's a mile and a half, but it's different from a lot of other mile and a halves. Look at the transition coming out of 4 right there, headed towards the quad oval. I mean, just the drop off and stuff. It just wants to slingshot you when you're coming off that banking. It wants to push you out towards that outside wall as you approach that first little kink in the track in the quad oval.
Yeah, the quad oval is going to require a lot of hand-eye coordination. There's quite a bit of work to be done there. It's not simple. It's not just a left turn. You know, it's kind of a easy left, straight, easy left. But when you're in traffic, it causes a lot of issues, and it's very difficult. It requires a lot of concentration from these guys. You know, and the same goes for getting on the pit road. Shorter pit road, but you know, I think it's a little difficult.
This in-car camera from Greg Klein that Brown just had it on, you could see the bumpiness. It's just insane how much that car rocks and rolls.
As times start to trickle in fast and furious, and no doubt Manny Valdez currently sitting up there at the top, but still got a couple people that need to put some times in. And so as you said, we almost got a 30-car field here, which I've been starting to come to enjoy in this Xfinity series. Nice high car count, which leaves really no inch of this track unentertained.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are going to move up to Cup and bump their numbers up. They're going to have some good car counts, pretty close to 40 probably. And then a lot of the folks that are in ARCA now are going to be filtering up into the Xfinity series. So, you know, Adam, the way they do this progressive league is really neat to see these guys work their way up over time.
Yeah, and they're adding a new dimension next year, so it'll go ARCA, Truck Series, Xfinity, and Cup. So it's going to be fun. There's good car counts in all series as it is, but I think we're going to see a boost with that Truck Series. Those are fun to race, you know. And I just like this league, Midwest Days of Thunder. It's sponsored by Adrenaline Spike Designs. You guys got to check them out. All their paint schemes and stuff. It's really cool. But man, these guys got it figured out. You guys want to be a part of a cool league like this, you start at the bottom, you can go to the top, or you can kind of stay where you want, you know. It's up to you. Fun stuff.
That it is. Got a couple of minutes left here in qualifying, and a lot of people have taken a lap. We normally don't see this many people take qualifying times here, but we got just about everybody putting a effort in, and I think that's all of them realizing that track position is going to be a big key, especially when tires run out here. When tires go, it's going to be very difficult to pass, and so you got to make all your moves early.
Yeah, and make your moves early, and also, you know, be aware of danger. I mean, you've got to be able to react to stuff that's going on in front of you. You know, I'm kind of in the Adam Turner school of thought. There is, first part of the race, just try to stay on the lead lap and leave a gap in front of you where you can dodge something. If that means not qualifying and starting in the back, so be it. I'll be happy to move my way up, but I've never been a contender to win one of these kind of technical races anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's a plan. You got to stay with your plan, but I'm with you on this. I personally would want to be in the back here. The track is super hot, 128, and rising at the moment. And the guys are going to want to get racy in the front, and it's going to be very slippery, and if they don't have everything together, it could cause a big,
it's come up 7
back. Yeah.
It's come up 7 degrees since practice.
And, we're just going to see more and more of that as these guys go around, lay rubber down, and it's just
heat of the day. Yeah,
just going to get hotter. So these guys do finish up their qualifying efforts. So let's kind of go through and tell you where your favorite driver might be starting here today. Manny Valdez taking pole position today with Chris Watkins with a late time coming in, being able to start on that front row in P2. The 8 of John Neidick having a great effort up there. He's going to be starting in 3rd. Greg Klein in that 92 in 4th. Davey Hendricks in the 81 will be starting 5th with Angel Hernandez in 6th. Alan Dixon will be starting 7th with Andrew Kobe starting in 8th. And 9th, we got Brian Privet, and rounding out that top 10 is going to be Carlos Ramos.
Kevin Biggs in that Twix number 18 is going to be starting in 11th. 45 of Al Corian, familiar paint job, in 12th. 64 of Anthony Fry in 13th. Red Stick Mike Simone going to be starting in 14th in that 27 automobile. And the 00 Alex Goff. Talk about his paint scheme that's familiar. He's got the Hubba Bubba paint back out there today in 15th. 60 of Alan Kewins. Good to see Alan racing tonight in 16th. The 93 of Isaac Wilson starts 17th. Gary Sargent in the 28 car starting 18th. William Jester, good to see him back in that 74 starting in 19th. And the 80 of Sneaky Pete Van Sprundle rounds out your top 20.
Yep, and then you have 35 Ethan Flanagan 21st, number 1 Jason Ricketts 22nd, 89 Tide Machine Gary Sack the 3rd, 23rd, 73 Tim Harmon 24th, 37 of Matthew Spires 25th, Gavin Marlin, he's out here, real race car driver, number 7, 20, didn't put a lap down, 26, we'll see him at the front, I bet, at the end of this. Number 5 Michael Cheney 27th, and John J. Timms in the 77 car will round that thing out.
Boy, oh boy, talk about a full field here today as we see them all stacked up 2 wide, following that pace car around this track, getting ready to take to this green flag. Mandy and Chris going to be leading us off. And which line do you guys think is going to have the better restart here? Do you think bottom line's going to get a nice run, or do you think that top line's going to carry momentum through the high parts of the corners?
I want to start on the high line to start out, just to see how it is. I think a lot of guys are going to be running high here, but they may surprise us. We may have some guys that run well on the inside, but we'll see. Watch Greg Klein and Watkins up here.
As pace car comes down pit road, this thing is ready to go. Green flag racing, and away we go. Squiggly start up there at the front. Manny Valdez breaking those tires loose, allowing Chris Watkins to kind of get an early lead on that outside, but Manny was able to recover. He is still kind of side by side through turns 1 and 2, and it looks like that inside line was able to carry enough momentum to kind of keep him up there, up at that front. Because of that little bad start there from Manny, Greg Klein was able to quickly slide in front of John Neidick to get up into 3rd, but we got racing going on behind them as they all single file out. You got Davey Hendricks and Angel Hernandez going side by side right now. Same thing with Carlos Ramos and Andrew Kobe.
Yeah, they're side by side all the way into the back here. So it's pretty good stuff so far. Everybody's done it pretty clean, and hopefully those tires get warmed up. They're going to warm up fast with that track temp.
Yeah, that outside line, that's about what I expected. I expected them to give the inside a run for their money, but we'll see how it goes. A lot of that may be contributed to the 72 kind of breaking loose, maybe. Watkins with your fastest lap of the race, a 32:01. We're early still, but pretty good lap time.
Yeah, Brian Privet back here, 9th, 7th, 8th, 9th, really good battle. Just some good stuff so far out here on the track.
And I think all these drivers realize this is a very, very long race, especially at a hot, treacherous track like this. So people giving each other plenty of room as Andrew Kobe looks to make a pass on the inside of Angel Hernandez to make his way up into that top 6. Side by side they go through turns 1 and 2, and it looks like they will stay too wide.
Yeah, they're going to have to be cautious, Adam. 129 degrees now down on the surface of this racetrack, and not a whole ton of banking to help you here. Just a lot of drop-off, as we mentioned during the race prep here. So
I think it's 24 degrees in the corners, 5 degrees in the straights. As I'm watching Ethan Flanagan in 20th, he's kind of trying to push his way through. Super good fight. 15 all the way, to 20 in that backstretch right now.
We're already seeing a few of these guys embrace that top line strategy, trying to get that upper groove rubbered in. I see the 8 running it. I saw whoever was racing Ethan back there was in that black and yellow car. He was running way up high as well.
Now Mike Simone was in the black and kind of green car. He was hitting the wall a little bit. He smacked the wall and falling back. But good hard racing so far.
And it is, as we're slowly kind of starting to single file out here, which we also expected to see as Alan Kewen, Special K, kind of drifting his way backwards a little bit. He had a good restart, but went back to about right where he started there in 17th. Someone who's had a great restart, that's the 80 of Pete Van Sprundle. That was 5 spots up, and the guy behind him, Gary Sack III, in that 89, he's up 7. So we got a couple big movers here already, and I mean, this thing's just getting started.
Yeah, great start for these guys, and it looked like somebody getting up in the wall back here again, keeping it straight though. Light colored car. Sorry, guys. It looked like the 11 of Andrew Kobe in that Exalta paint. He definitely has a little bit of right front damage.
Oh boy, that was close. As the 81 of Hendricks was trying to make a pass on the 8 of John Neidick up the inside. And man, that car got as tight as you could get it, and then just started breaking loose, but a good save from Davey there.
If there's somebody that can wheel a car and save it like that, it's Davey's one of them cats that can do it. Thanks to you guys that are watching on YouTube. Isaac's on there talking about Manny and Davey probably going to be up there in the front. Thomas S. saying he thinks Davey's going to win. Eric Warman, yes sir, it's a quad oval now. When they redid this track and they reconfigured it in '97, it went from just being a plain oval to a quad oval, and they just call it that because of the sharp angles between the front stretch and the turn transitions. Bob Gallinger saying that Manny's going to turn Davey with 10 to go. I don't know about that. That sounds familiar, though.
See, I actually wouldn't like to see that, but I could like to see the aftermath of that.
Yeah.
But you were talking about Davey and running up against number 8 of John Neidick. He hadn't run too much in this series with these guys, and John Neidick, as we know, he's not going to give you an inch out there on the racetrack. He'll make it hard for you.
As this is a good 3-way battle for third between Greg Klein, John Neidick, and Davey. But at the same time, the more these guys fight, you got the 42 of Angel Hernandez, who we saw in ARCA. He was a fantastic driver, especially on longer runs in ARCA. So don't count him out, as well as Carlos Ramos. He's been driving solid here, kind of latter half of this regular season.
Davey's trying to pick which horse he thinks is going to make it through here, because Keith the 92 and the 8 both stay up there side by side like that forever.
Well, I like this pack back here. 10 Anthony Fry is kind of in charge of this pack as Alan Dixon's with him. And Goff in the top 10. They're fighting for 10. But
Oh, as the 92 gets air shoved up into the wall by the 8. No malicious intent there. Just two cars just, man, bouncing along this track. And the 92 did a great job trying to keep it off the wall as best as he could. That's going to give the 8 some positions, and the 92 is going to lose a few.
And that's why I like this pack right here I was just talking about, because they're kind of distancing themselves from the front pack, but not by too much. But if there's an issue up there, they're going to have plenty of time to slow down and get around it. So I like these guys' mentality here.
Well, other guys are on the move. Pete Van Sprundle, Gary Sachs up 7, Pete's up 6. Gavin Marlin back there in that 7 machine started in the back. He's up 6 spots already too.
Right now we can see Alex Goff and Tony Fry side by side. This is for 12th place right now, and I got a slow car down there on that infield. I wasn't able to catch the number on that. As looks like they had come down to the pits maybe one too many wall taps and needed to get some steering fixed or something, and coming right back on out.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that one, Brown. So many people out here on the track, it's very difficult for all of us to, even with all these eyeballs we got on it, it's still hard to kind of figure out what's going on at times.
Someone
Well,
who
that was me. I got one trained on one car and one on another.
one person that doesn't need any eyeballs trained on him right now, that's Chris Watkins in the 530 Trail and Spike Designs car. He's opened up a solid gap over Manny, about a minute or a second and a quarter. So he's finding some speed here. Don't know whether it's Manny backed off or.
Oh, 35 and the 45 just went off. I'm sorry. They're back on track. Sorry, Brown.
Oh, as we got a checkup going on behind him, it looks like the 28 got rear-ended by John J. Timms.
Well, that looked like Red Stick Mike Simone, was it not, that kind of lost it there? Ooh.
He gone.
Yeah, Red Stick
He went
Mike
into the pit.
had to mow the lawn there. Good eye, Brown.
You get wrecked into the pits like that, or wreck yourself into the pits, generally they're pretty good about clearing that black flag, because you're going to get an automatic one for unsafe pit entry. Start to see some guys suffer with a little bit of wear on these really, really hot, slick, greasy tires.
Ooh, somebody's got a little loose there in the backstretch. Man, yeah, I think it's getting greasy, isn't it?
Adam, I don't think I've ever seen a track temp this high. We're up to 131 degrees. Man, that's hot.
It's like the Sahara Desert.
You fry egg out there right now. I bet if you step over the pit wall there and crack you one, I bet you could fry egg right there.
Good lord, good lord. As got some people kind of moving up through that pack. You got the 18 of Kevin Biggs. We've seen him become a heck of a racer here, kind of this latter half of the season as well. He's been having very solid races put together. Right now he's up 6, currently sitting in a top 5 position in that Twix machine. He's working his way up there.
And check this out, folks. I mean, we've seen some guys have some issues and get a little bit crooked and wiggly, and a couple guys lose some traction out there, but we're still green flag racing right now. These guys are handling their business, staying out of trouble for the most part.
Man,
yeah,
you can.
These guys have been together a long time this season. They've raced a lot. I'm sorry about that, Brown, but they know each other, so they ain't good drivers here in this series.
Yeah, all I was going to say is you can see as they're coming off of these corners as Angel Hernandez now being passed by Kevin Biggs. So Kevin Biggs is definitely holding on to this kind of mid-rim speed right now and clawing his way through here. They are so loose coming off of that corner. You got to wonder if it's a tight situation going into a break and loose, and that is as someone who's driven these cars at least a little bit, that is not what you want to be feeling. You'd rather a car that's either loose or tight, not both.
Yeah, and I think that's what you're seeing. You described it perfectly. They're having a fight every second, these cars, you know.
Ooh, as the 60 of Special K, Alan Kewins having a little bit of an issue there. Let's go back and see. Oh, Al Corey, I think just trying to keep it together and bumped off the wall and came down into Kewins, and Kewins went into that inside wall. Thankfully, there are fast repairs in the Xfinity series, so he'll be able to get that fixed up, but that's going to be a fast repair that he cannot use later on.
Davey Hendricks is making his move. Davey Hendricks is making his move up here in front on Chris Watkins. I don't know if he saved the tires or... Yeah, they're going to battle it out. Go ahead, Brown.
Side by side they go as Davey slips back behind Watkins, probably trying to get a little bit of draft, maybe get a little momentum to come off of this corner and maybe get the line that he wants. It seems like that top line is kind of where you want to be, that top to middle line, because I think that bottom line just isn't quite there.
Well, think about it this way. When you're going down the road, it's a lot easier to take a turn wide than it is to take it sharp. I mean, you're going to be burning up tires trying to fight the centrifugal force and trying to stay low like that. The easier of a turn you can make, the longer you're going to let those tires run for. Thomas S. on YouTube saying a lot of good-looking cars out there today. Well, a lot of that's because of the Adrenaline Spike Designs who sponsored the Xfinity series here at MDOT. So go check them guys out, the MPN cars. Look around at those guys, that team. That's Chris Watkins. He is Adrenaline Spike Designs, and he paid some pretty good cars.
That's Carlos Ramos having some issues coming down that back stretch.
And he's in the wall! And on the apron now. He's going to lose a lot of spots right there.
Does, as boy, oh boy, that was some...
Ooh, John Neidick and Manny Valdez were having a battle in that quad oval.
It was a little close.
Yeah. I think with quad oval we're going to see some action as these tires start to 25 laps in. I think they're pretty much toast at 132 degrees on this track.
So with it being a little bit of an awkward distance, 110 laps, are you still trying to split this thing up into kind of thirds, do 30, 60, 90 kind of pit stops?
I think so, 40. I'm thinking more like 40, 80, and then you've got a little bit of a cushion because they do have some green-white checkers here. So you want to give yourself a few laps of cushion for fuel.
Boy, oh boy, as the 8 of John Neidick just touching that outside wall, getting that car all squiggly wiggly, and done another good job to try to keep it out of the people around him, and we still go green flag racing.
Looked like he was on ice skates. Made one critical, minute error. I was watching him, and he just, he lost it. He didn't lose total control, but he lost a lot of ground there. Alan Dixon, talk about the consistency of this guy. He's driving him real smooth. It's not affecting him so far.
That's what I was going to say. Speaking of ice, the 31 Alan Dixon driving like he's got ice water in his veins and not letting all that drama right there bother him. He's just fighting to be consistent.
As we take a look back here in 12th, we got that 7 of Gavin Marlin. He's up 14 spots right now, so I think he might have had a little bit of homework to do or something while qualifying was going on, so he wasn't quite able to get a lap time in. But man,
I'm sorry, Manny's in the wall. I'm sorry, Brown.
Again,
Manny got into the wall there, 72, and they just passed him like he was standing still. And sorry, Brown. Go ahead and finish. Everything's cool up here now.
I've just So Gavin starting out there in the backs and fighting his way up, so he's done a really good job here. And this is something we don't typically see from Manny. We might see him struggle on older tires a little bit, but nothing quite like this.
Well, this is kind of the old tires on a hot track to the extreme, because it's so freaking hot, and this track is so bumpy and so abrasive. It amplifies it so much, as it looks like the 90 of Carlos Ramos is coming in.
Yeah, he's had enough. Manny's coming in as well. Manny.
Oh, Carlos Ramos!
he held it. As long as he didn't get a speeding penalty, he'll be fine there. But looks like Isaac Wilson's going to come down. It looks like our first wave here.
Yeah, the MPN guys are sticking together on this for sure.
And you talk about MPN guys, we do have in this Midwest Days of Thunder, there's a team concept here. We'll talk about it as we go along. Alex Goff was just a little bit loose there. Everybody's really loose right now.
That temp continues to climb 132 degrees.
Still about half the field stayed out as we kind of get some slow people, or people slowly trickling in. John Neidick, Mike Simone, Greg Klein, Will Jester. They're starting to make their way in now. And you got to think, if you're Chris Watkins, you're kind of controlling when Davey pits right now. I mean, Davey's been running some great lap times here, and he may not pit for a while. So if you're Chris, you might want to force his hand and pit a little bit early.
Absolutely. It's a great strategy. And at this point, these guys are turning this into a 3-stop race, which is really going to benefit everybody that comes in and gets these tires, because they're going to be so much faster if we got another line of cars look like they're coming in.
Yeah, it's about that time. But, what's surprising to me, and we do a little prep work for this. We're professionals. I definitely work harder than Mrs. Poindexter. But we would have thought, I would have, I think y'all would agree, we would already had a caution by now. You know what I mean? And I may have jinxed us. But it's just been super clean, even with this rough surface and these tires.
These guys are smacking the wall pretty hard, Alan, but they're holding on to it, keeping it straight for the most part.
Yeah, that just kind of tells you what kind of talent is out here, because out of all the NASCAR cars and series, this is the hardest car to drive. So the fact that these guys are doing a great job of not continuing to let the wreck happen, or able to get the car back under control, I don't want to say with ease, but fairly quickly. These guys are doing a heck of a job.
Grumpy Gramps Racing asking on Facebook, is anybody going to have anything for Davey? I don't know, because it's still real early. I know that Chris Watkins has been improving, and he's getting a lot better. Watch for Greg Klein late, as he's one of those tire-saving guys that he loves these abrasive kind of tracks. And Joe Archer saying, sorry, he missed the race, but it's Thanksgiving in Canada. Man, they're having it a little bit early. I didn't realize they had it that early.
I just got really confused. We're gonna.
His Privet's in the wall again, but he might have been. Oh, come on, Privet, you can save it. You can save it. Come on.
You got it.
Yeah, he did get it. I think he felt a little pressure there, Manny Valdez, on those newer tires coming up quick on some of these guys, as Alan Dixon almost drifted out up into him, and kind of starting to wonder, maybe Privet had some flashbacks to what he might have witnessed on Friday night when Manny was faced with some people that were going a little bit slower.
Yeah, I'm just...
Cody Coburn on Facebook saying, man, I hope the ARCA series is this clean this week. Be nice to race and not pace. Yeah, well, I agree, man.
Well, it happens. Those guys are just starting to get to know each other, and that stuff. Once you get in it, and I think that's a great series, great car to run in. So I'm looking forward to watching it this Thursday. But man, I'm a little frazzled with the Thanksgiving talk. I got real confused. I saw stuff flash before my eyes with that Privet car. I gotta catch my breath.
Hey, check out the 80 car. Pete Van Sprudel. He's up 15 spots. And Will Jester up 11. Gavin Marlin up 12. John J. Timms up almost a dozen.
We've been watching this series or part of this Midwest Days of Thunder for a while. Yeah, talk about a very improved racer.
You ain't
Pete Van Sprundle. He's just tearing it up out here and driving very clean. It's like he's learning stuff every week and applying it to this craft. And he's
just announced he's coming in. Yeah, sorry, man. Let me step on your toes like that.
No, it happens. So we're all excited about this race, man. It gets exciting as he's going to pit, so.
So you got people still cycling around. Our top 9, however, have essentially not come down yet, though, and we're getting really late into this run here. I mean, the gap between first and second's about 2.8. The gap between second and third's about 2.3, and then the gap between third and fourth right now, just because it hasn't cycled through yet, is 4+.
So if you're Davey, you have no reason to pit right now because you still have a great gap behind you. So it looks like he's just going to keep on going as long as he can keep a big old gap between him and Chris Watkins.
Yeah, I think Davey's biggest issue right now might be just the lap cars.
Watkins announced he's pitting this lap. That might force Davey's hand here. Let's see.
So did Biggs, and you're right, Brown. I think lap cars, that's what's going to play a difference in this thing here.
As Davey does come down with that announcement from Watkins, so these two coming down. Kind of wonder if Watkins didn't call that out, Davey would have just kept going around. He had just that big enough of a gap. He wouldn't have known if cars behind him were pitting.
And they want these guys to call out when they're pitting. They don't have to do it a whole lap or two ahead of time, but they want these guys to let guys behind them know, hey, I'm fixing to pit in because you're losing a lot of speed. You're going from 170 miles an hour down to, let's just pit speed limit here, 55 or something, 50 miles an hour. So you don't want to wreck nobody behind you by just slamming on the brakes.
Yeah, but in a situation like that, I don't see why you should have to call it out, you know. That driver behind you has eyeballs too.
Yeah.
Anthony Fry's going to get a lap lead. That's a bonus point here in this series. Midwest Days of Thunder, Xfinity, sponsored by Adrenaline Spike Designs.
That he is, and so Manny will also get a lap lead here as he comes around as this thing cycles back through everybody coming down and completing pit stops. You got John Nidek sitting here in second. Greg Klein back up into third. Gavin Marlin, man, with that pit stop and everything, he did a heck of a job there. I mean, he might be his pit stop was actually extremely quick. I don't know if they got all those lug nuts on that on those tires or something. He's now up into third as he's trying to get around Greg Klein, up 23 spots.
Damn gum.
He's got the NOS button, you know, he just hits that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he just
Take that car, damn it.
We may have to.
Mike Simone was a really fast. I think he may have just taken a couple tires, or he just came in and had his tires unchecked and get a little damage fixed or something. It's like he's going to lose another lap.
As Davey gets around both Klein and Marlin fairly quickly. He's also on 10-lap newer tires, being just recently pitted. And I mean, if Davey was on rails with old tires, seeing him here on new stuff, man.
He's gonna eat these boys up, isn't he?
You ain't kidding us. We got a battle back here for kind of like a top 6, top 7 spot between Cobe, Watkins, and Privet, all kind of trying to figure out who's going to finish where.
Yeah, that right there is good, clean, hard racing. They're just kind of going back and forth. One of them takes it, you know. The low line out of turn 4 seems a little better, and the high line out of turn 2 seems a little better. So I don't know. I guess they'll have to sort that out as the race goes on.
So don't look now, but the race this week for ARCA is going to be right here. It's going to be at Atlanta, and it's going to be in the middle of the day. So for y'all that are chiming in on YouTube and Facebook saying, man, I hope the ARCA race goes this good. Now I know why they're saying that, because they're watching this and saying, we're going to be here in 3 days. Hopefully we can race as clean as these guys are racing. I love watching the green flag pit strategies. I think it's a lot of fun, and kind of makes you think about or second guess what you're doing sometimes, but it sure is fun to watch.
Looks like Gary Sack's going to come down in the pits. But yeah, no, this is a total, we talk about it, or I do, ad nauseum. Marathon, not a sprint, but chess versus checkers. This really, it can be a thinking man's game. You think you're just turning left, but there's actually a lot of thought that goes into this stuff.
Steve Davis on Facebook saying, go Grumpy Gramps. He's pulling for Grumpy Gramps Racing too. Sorry about that, Brian.
Does Grumpy Gramps have a team up here?
I don't see him register, I don't believe.
Oh, it's Manny's
up the wall again.
Manny's in the wall again, and just like that, Davey Hendricks right back up into the lead. And he, other than some lap cars he's got around him, he's got nothing but clean air and a empty windshield right there.
Yeah, but to get to where he was right there, that was wicked. He kind of sliced and diced right through there. That was wild, is what that was.
Yeah, Stephen Davis on Facebook saying no Grumpy Gramps tonight. They'll be in ARCA, but I think they're helping out up there in the admin booth with Derek Schimmel. I think they're helping out doing admin and race control. So thanks to those guys for coming over to this league and helping out in more ways than one. Not just bringing some viewers and stuff, but for helping out logistically and in the areas where we kind of need help, like the admin section and stuff like that. So appreciate you guys kicking some extra help to Derek up there in the booth. Derek does a great job, but he does need a little help now and then. Oh man, 72 got loose again.
Oh no, it's a 5 wrecking.
Cheney's in the inside wall. Still green.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, let's go and take another look at that, because he and Manny getting involved. Same thing with the 530. Oh no, I think gonna have to take a really good look at this one. So we're green flag racing right now. Looks like he started drifting up the track, and 72 of Valdez just kind of closed that gap, and from there it was just going for a ride, doing the best you can to save it, and just ran out of time, and man, hard into that inside wall goes to 5.
There's a lot of race chatter right now, so something somebody didn't like there, and I have to rewatch it myself to see what that was, but we may have fireworks, guys, and
yeah, and
you know what that means.
And the second place car was trying to make it through there, and looks like he might have caught a little piece of the 5 of Cheney as he was sliding down the track. So Chris Watkins probably not completely thrilled about that either. But hey, we're still green. We're still making some laps here.
That we are, as
and you're halfway.
It's like Tim Harmon having a little bit of a battle here with Al Corey for a top 16 kind of spot, as man, he's loose coming down this back straightaway, and these guys are breaking loose not exactly where you'd think they'd be breaking loose. It's not exactly right at the corner exit. It's basically once when they've got that wheel already straight.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, if you finish in the top 15 in this race, you've done something, you've accomplished something, because this is some real hard competitive racing right here with a super hot track, and we're at 133 on that track still at this point.
Wow. I can't believe it's that hot.
And we're about at that halfway point, so man, it's I don't think it's going to get any cooler, that's for sure.
No, I mean, this heat of the day, it's It's not even 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, race time, so that sun is high for sure.
Not a heck of a lot of action going on right now. Gavin Marlin's trying to sneak up into a top 4, looking to the inside of Manny Valdez, and Manny once again, just scraping that outside wall, pushing the limits of this track to the absolute inch.
Yeah, he needs to try to do everything he can to find a high groove that will keep him from smacking that wall. But, man, easier said than done. With the tire wear, the surface, the bumps, and the heat, these guys are struggling for sure.
Alan Coon's down in the pits, but we have not seen Manny have this kind of trouble that I recall.
And to kind of agree with you there, Mr. Davis, there's really not a lot of things I wouldn't do for a Klondike bar, so that $10, yeah, that comes in handy, as he was mentioning that it's going green right now because Forn said $10 if it goes the green to the white.
Really?
$10 for who? I mean, I need $10.
$10 for everybody?
Well, it's
Man,
like
30 car
around.
field, that's
Thanks,
going.
Forns.
Brinks are on Fords. We'll see.
So we got a little bit of a pack going on here between 4th all the way back through into 9th. All these guys are still fairly close. You got Manny, you got John Neidick, you got Gavin, you got Brian Privet, Greg Klein, Andrew Kobe, Pete Van Sprundle. Man, we got a whole bunch of guys all sitting around here.
Yeah, that's your best action right now on the racetrack. It is intense, and somebody better be paying attention because you make one mistake here and you're going to take out all these guys. So it's
Yeah,
really
guys,
good stuff right there.
As Manny gets up into the wall, down
Manny.
into... He's trying to hold it up against the wall, and he does. So a good job from Manny to not make things escalate from where they were. Man, that got close there for a good second.
Yeah, he had to come in the pits there. And you got a lot of guys on different strategies here. You got guys that pitted at 41, guys that pitted at 27, and everywhere in between. So you've got guys running different speeds out here.
Wow, does Manny have his cousin or something in behind the wheel? This is totally unlike him. That just shows you how tough this track is. When a guy like him's having trouble, I know this is not easy.
Pretty good little pack right here. Got 7th place. Greg Klein got a couple guys inside and behind him, and 2 wide in front of him. So
Yeah, all the way up to Privet there in 4th. Then you got Gavin in 5th and John Neidick in 6th. And throw in Alan Coons, he's a lap down. He's right in there with him.
Ooh,
Quite a battle.
As the 7 and the 8 almost trade a little bit of paint there, coming through that quad oval.
Thomas S saying Sneaky Pete looking pretty strong tonight. Yeah, he's plugging along up there. Up 13 overall. He looked like he had a top 5 car earlier, but he was on a little bit different pit strategy, I believe. But pretty even with the leaders right now.
Ramos coming down pit road. Doesn't like what he's got on those Goodyear tires. Needs some Sunoco fuel.
Jim Harmon at 73 coming in too. John J. Timms hitting his box.
We are at that, right around 60, 62 mark. We saw some people start to pit around lap 30 of the last go around, so it makes sense if they're sticking to that strategy to come on in now. And so we're going to start to see these guys slowly start to come in, and hopefully by right around, around lap 80 we'll see like Davey Hendricks and Watkins and Biggs and most of these guys that are really pushing it to come down.
Yeah, the guys that can save tires and still stay fast, they're sticking to the two-stop strategy. I'm talking about your top three, maybe Alan Dixon in that category as well. Everybody else, there's a couple more, Angel Hernandez and Anthony Fry, Jester and Sargent. Everybody else looks like they're going to try the three-stop strategy here. I'm not sure if that's going to be advantageous for them, considering we're probably looking at having at least a caution late here.
Where did you get that word? It's not in the Louisiana language dictionary.
Advantageous?
Yeah, I've seen
No, I
it.
learned that when I was
read
going to school in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
That's there's where you learned it. Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants, but well, it's really spread out for the most part, but really good racing looks like.
Only 4 syllables.
That it is, as Kevin Biggs don't want to do the good old curse of the commentator and whatnot, but he's been inching his way back up to that bumper of Chris Watkins, right around a 10th or so a lap. So Kevin Biggs having a heck of a run here today.
Yeah, he's got the best candy bar on his car available to mankind, the Twix. So he should be. It's a cookie and like stuff.
Snickers has cookie in it.
Whoa, Matthew Spires is super loose.
Klein, John Knight, Gavin Marlin all pitting right now. Yeah, Kevin Biggs is always up there late, and right now he's up there a little past halfway. So, yeah, that 18 machine of Biggs, he's always going to be a contender up there.
As the gap continues to increase for Davey Hendricks, it's now approaching the 10-second mark, as the yellow flag comes out.
What happened there?
Oh, we missed it, apparently. Did not see what happened there.
Oh no! Who's in the Tide car? Gary Sack.
Gary
Sack and William Jester got together.
Oh, looks like Gary Sack going up into that outside wall, coming down that back straightaway, and man, he just went straight into that outside wall, and those two got together, and you know what? That's gonna bring us the first caution of the night.
Horns is off the hook for the $10 deal, and
tough break for William Jester. He was running pretty well in that 74 AirCal machine, which is a cool looking paint. We hadn't seen William Jester in a while. Glad he's back. I think he'll survive this. But Gary Sack, I don't know. Gary Sack has had a rough day. He's been hitting the wall quite a bit, so hope he can stay out there.
As we're getting just about everybody coming down, taking tires, which I think is smart. I think the cars that you see kind of staying out there are all lapped down, so the pits are not open for them quite yet. But definitely all the people that have not pitted that second time yet, I'm sure are like, yes, that caution is exactly what I needed, as Davey Hendricks is going to win that race off of pit road pretty easily. And, Chris Watkins here, I think he still had a fast repair, but he did not use it to get some of that damage done that he had when he kind of got into it with the 72.
Bob's watching us on YouTube saying, did Manny quit? It looks like he did. It says that he manually disconnected. He's had a rough night all night. Not really like him to quit a race before it's over with, but man, it's a lot of frustration out there for the 72 today.
The fastest chick in the South might have had too much grease on his hands or something. I don't know what was going on with him, but glad to see him go. I'd like to see him stick it out, He's a good driver, and that won't be the last we see of old Manny. That's for dang sure. We know that.
Joe Archer, watching from us up there in Saskatchewan, said that these guys are putting on a good show tonight. Yeah, to go this far into a race without a yellow, Yeah, that's and it hasn't been boring. It's been exciting. These guys have been using up every bit of the racetrack, side by side, and sometimes three wide, and a lot of guys getting loose, cars getting damaged on the wall.
Yeah,
We've seen some spectacular saves.
I know what I was going to say. If I'm an ARCA driver and I want to edge up, I would watch this race and
I'd be
kind of
taking
pay
notes.
attention. And it should be mandatory training, actually, because there has been a lot of problems with these cars. It is super hot, but they get in trouble, like on the wall. They hold it on the wall. They keep it there. They stay out of trouble. It's just, a little bit of, driving this car this long, and in the series this long, you kind of know, how to stay out of trouble. Even when you're in trouble, you can keep everybody out of trouble around you for the most part. There's stuff that happens, but these guys have done a tremendous job of having a little issue in the wall, staying in the wall, letting everybody go, and then getting back into gas. There's little intricacies of racing that I think these ARCA guys pay attention to this because you're going to be doing it Thursday. You know what I mean? Midwest Days of Thunder. You want to be up here with these guys, kind of learn from them. Because this car is tough to drive.
Getting a few wave rounds here. A couple guys getting a lap back here. The 8. I think I saw the 28 and the 27 coming around that pace car and getting a lap back. Davey Hendricks going to be starting on the inside. Chris Watkins on the outside. This looks familiar, doesn't it? And the 18 of Biggs, first car on that second row inside with Brian Privet on the outside. We saw him bounce off off the wall a couple of times early there, but it looks like Alan, the 55's kind of gotten that car back up underneath him.
That he does. But if you're Mr. Davey Hendricks, this is not what you wanted to see. You had a nice, comfortable 10-second gap before that caution came out, and now we're all stacked back up, ready to go back to green flag racing when the pace car comes down pit road. So everything's all tightened back up, and especially these guys that were pushing it for 40 laps, they can make it till the end at this point. So unless another caution comes out, I think we're gonna see everybody just about stay out, as Davey Hendricks getting a great restart there over Chris Watkins. Brian Privet also having a pretty good restart there as well.
I don't think Kevin Biggs liked that restart much. He was on the inside line there, one row back, and just couldn't keep up with the guys up front. I don't know really what happened with him there, but he went and slid up to the outside line. He's only going to lose that one spot. So,
yeah, just eating one of those Twix bars, he'll be right back in it, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a little bit of racing going on behind those guys. You got Alan Dixon, Angel Hernandez kind of having a little...
Oh, no!
Wow.
And no yellow.
Green. There it is.
There it is.
All right, what happened back there? I didn't get to...
I saw the 5. I have to go
5
back and look.
Michael Chaney. It looks like Isaac Wilson was also involved. Gotta go back and take a look here. Oh, the 5 just getting loose coming off of the corner. Man, oh man, Alex Goff in that Hubba Bubba car. He just played some dice or something. I'm gonna have to. I want to get
horse his butt.
in-car camera of that, because man, oh man.
God, you could have slid a piece of paper between him and the 5.
Well, he ain't in Waco. He didn't roll snake eyes.
Oof.
Wow. And is this cold tires, hot tires, crazy tires, cheese grater track? What's the deal here?
It's amazing.
It's nuts. As Isaac Wilson, unfortunately, getting involved in that. And,
Alex Goff. Oh my Lord.
I have no idea. Which portion of his soul he had to sell to get through that one, but man, it depending on how this one finishes, it might have been worth it.
Michael Simone actually getting back up on the lead lap. It looks like the 27 Red Stick Mike staying out of trouble and making his way back around.
And now they're having some conversations out here on the track, and
John
there's some stuff going on. Guy hits a guy in the wall, and that's how
he hits another guy, and yeah.
Hey, it happens. That's why we're having fun with it, though, and just like playing a game of Yahtzee is what this is.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. As these guys,
you got about 13 cars on lead lap here, still, and
at least
a couple guys. Who all's gonna come in right here? Looks like you got a lot of the guys that were on that earlier pit stop are trying to catch back up. Guys like Hendricks and Privet, Biggs, Cole, Van Sprundle, they're going to stay out because those tires are only 8 laps old. And hell, 1 or 2 of those under yellow.
Oh, at least.
So I don't think the difference is great enough to make a big difference. The only guys I'd watch maybe behind you, it looks like Watkins Klein and Marlin all have brand spanking new tires. So maybe watch those guys, but they're going to be starting a few rows behind Hendricks and Privet, Biggs, and Kolb. So I'm not sure it's going to be a big enough difference here.
No, we're just one of those things. You got to wait and see. And unfortunately, I think this is one of those situations where cautions breed cautions. And I mean, again, really no foul play there for you, Adam. That I know you're waiting on some tensions to get up there and whatnot. But for the most part, things haven't been too bad today. People have been racy, but they've been giving each other room.
But I hope it is this clean for the guys racing on Thursday. I know there a few of them are watching right now. Yeah, they're definitely taking notes. Bob says he's got Biggs. He's pulling for Biggs. That's his big prediction. He's pulling for that 18 Twix machine to take it all tonight.
He's been doing a heck of a job running up there tonight, racing with some of these big boys and definitely throwing his name into the hat as we start to get down into this kind of crunch time. Head to 2 weeks in Nashville, and that's going to be it for the regular season. Next thing you know, we're in these playoffs, and they are doing kind of a shortened playoff kind of thing, just 4 races, each race narrowing down, I think, the playoff field. So every little point's going to matter here, and Biggs, definitely the last few races, he's been getting those points. His pace car coming down pit road, so Davey Hendricks is going to lead us off once again. He had a great restart that last time. It looks like he'll have a pretty solid one here again as the 55 is able to just hang on. Oh, as he might have tagged that outside wall, and he lost a lot of ground, so Biggs on that inside line is going to be able to sneak his way up into second. And if Privet's not careful here, he's going to lose a few more because he's got Kolb, Hernandez, and Van Sprundle all sitting right there behind him.
Yo, Archer on Facebook saying Wolfpack Racing is watching and learning from every lap tonight.
Yeah,
so we're right.
There's definitely a lot to learn here. Top 15. Really good racing, man, out here.
Isaac Wilson said on YouTube, he said, I hate Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, he just got kind of bad end of the deal, and it happens.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Davey Hendricks just kind of tapped the wall as he came out of 2, was able to hang on to it and really not lose any bit of time.
Oh, Mr. No Mistakes made one, so we'll see how that plays out here if they can grab a hold of him.
Yeah, you can't push your luck if you don't know how far you can actually push it without scraping up on that wall.
Oh, Alan Dixon back here, Greg Klein, Gavin Marlin, Anthony Fry. Good stuff.
I mean, this has been kind of the battle. They've been separated a little bit when pit cycles have been going around and whatnot, but other than that, eventually this pack finds each other together, and we've seen nothing but hard, close racing between all of these guys, and they've done a heck of a job keeping it clean.
Yeah, and not to mention Ethan Flanagan's found his way up to the 9 spots up. Wow.
A lot of side-by-side stuff right here in this pack that y'all just talked about. Marlin and Vance Brundle, Klein and Fry, Flanagan right behind Fry. Pretty close right here. Guys, you can go faster if you go single file here, but they're just kind of trying to figure out who should be in front of who, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, it looks like Greg Klein, and he's just trying to find somewhere to go, And Ethan Flanagan's doing the same. And I think it's going to end up bad if they keep doing what they're doing there.
They got a pack right behind them catching up quick here, too. Who's that? Jester and... I can't read the number on that other car. I think that's a...
You got Carlos Ramos.
There you go, it's Ramos. Yep.
Got Ricketts, Harmon. I think Al Corey's one of those guys up in there. The 8 of John Neidick as well. But, I mean, these guys are all a lap down as well. So, this is a little bit of a race going on inside of this race. You got that lead pack going right now. But, these guys are still racing for essentially a top 20, top 15 spot.
Yeah, less than 30 to go here. What are the pit strategies looking like now? Because we got a lot of guys that came in at 68, a lot of guys that came in 74, 75. Pretty much almost the same pit strategy. A mile and a half, 6 laps ain't gonna make that huge of a difference, but it might come the last lap. So, do you think these guys are hoping for another caution? Try to get on the same pit strategy?
I think these guys are done coming down pit road unless a caution flag flies from between here and the end as Davey Hendricks and Kevin Biggs.
That's the 31.
Alan Dixon just mowed the grass.
No.
Took himself out.
Smashed the pit wall.
Yeah, he got loose.
He got loose into that outside wall, through the grass, into that inside wall. Oof.
He's going to need a black flag cleared and maybe an ambulance. Wow. And he's such a consistent racer. And that would just look like it was all on him, just got a little loose there.
It happens. I mean, he's one of those guys that is trying to make something happen. Trying to make some good points and stuff here late in the season. And, man, he was pushing it hard.
Yeah, so is Greg Klein, and he just made some really good moves on Anthony Fry there.
Alex Goff in the wall above the 28 of Sargent. They stay off each other. Sorry, Ed.
No, I'm just watching Greg Klein moved up a couple spots there, and really smooth. We know him well. Very, very consistent.
Some would say too well, You don't want to get too close to Gallagher.
No, I mean, we just know him as a driver.
Oh, okay. I thought
in this series. I don't know many of these people personally, so that was a little awkward.
Well, I know him personally. I thought that's where you go.
Oh, okay. No, I wasn't getting into real personal business. But he's consistent. He's moving up, and he passed a couple guys there, and now he's working his way to that lead pack.
He'd love to at least get back to where he started up here in 4th, 3rd, Greg's one of those guys, he's very hungry. Definitely wants to get another win. He's already got one. That was in the Cup, wasn't it? Was that a Cup win that Greg had? I believe it was. But he can still make his owner, Derek Schimmel, some owner points down here in Xfinity.
Don't look now. Kevin Biggs, he's been riding that back bumper of Hendricks quite a lot. They're both running different lines. Hendrick's running that lower line. Biggs running that high line. And, man, Biggs just kind of looking like he's biding his time as a few rows behind him. They got 3 wide there for a second.
Yeah, Bob on YouTube, you might be onto something, brother. Pulling for Biggs up there. That was his pick.
Yeah, I think what you're watching there, it was Watkins and Gavin Marlin almost looked like a little block there, but I don't think so. I think it was just good. Watkins got a little loose as Gavin's trying to make his move on him right now. Good stuff right there. And as they're fighting, Greg Klein is moving it up.
Tom S on YouTube saying he thinks Davey will probably take this win, but he'd love to see that 42 up there in victory lane. Yeah, we'd like to pull for Angel Hernandez too, and he's sitting pretty right now. Sitting in he's looking at a top 5.
If I remember right.
Gavin Marlin catching a heck of a lot of momentum on that outside. Had to actually check up to avoid the wreck there, and man, oh man.
Yeah, they almost sent it 3 wide, didn't they? Now they're stacked up, ready to battle. Mention Angel Hernandez. We saw him in ARCA, was pretty dang good in that league, and he's finding his way here. He deserves a top 5, that's for sure. Look at him go! Wow.
All those guys, you can tell he works hard and studies the track and puts his time in. Good things will happen to people like that.
Alan Dixon may be in the way of these guys. Brown, is there?
I don't know. He might he might have just done a full pit stop. Looks like his car's got a fast repair, got some tires.
Now he's out front of him. They were catching him, but now he's out front of him. But look at him. They're a really good battle right here.
Yeah, Dixon being shown 5 laps down, man. With that little over 2-minute pit stop, 2.25 minutes.
Greg Klein and Angel Hernandez battle now.
That's Andrew Cobe in that 11 car able to get around the 55 of Brian Privet. Those guys had kind of nose to tail for a little bit as they've got the 31 kind of in front of him right now. And, it's the 31 of Dixon just missing out on the playoffs in Cup. He needed a win to get in the final week. And man, for a while there, it looked like he might have had a chance at it, and unfortunately was not able to continue on. So looking to maybe keep his playoff hopes alive here in Xfinity. Still a couple races left to go.
Yeah, I know he was kind of heartbroken about last week, but hey man, there's always next season. The 11 of Cobe, I'm glad you talked about him. He's up 4 spots, but had trouble early. I mean, he had a couple pretty hard hits into that wall, and I thought, man, that's really gonna hurt him. But I mean, he's right there, not too far off the leaders, sitting right there in that 4th spot.
Yeah, Greg Klein still moving up there, but Angel Hernandez is right behind him, and Greg Klein's trying to make his move on Gavin Marlin. So
as Chris Watkins out into that wall again, man, we've seen Chris Watkins kind of find that outside wall quite a bit here, kind of this last half of the race. So he's definitely struggling with a little bit of something right now. And for someone who was kind of challenging for the lead to now kind of challenging for trying to just maybe get a top 5, that's a pretty decent size step down. As Brian Privet goes back around Cobe up there in 3rd.
About to be 13 to go here. We do have a couple of not fast repairs, a couple of green-white checkers here in MDOT. What do you guys predictions for right here at the end? Do you think this thing will end under green, or do you foresee some aggression and maybe some travesty for some of these guys.
I think this thing is probably going to end when we run out of laps available to run, and then the winner is going to be the person who's in front of everybody else.
Oh, is that how it works?
Just kind of my thoughts on that one.
Well, I don't know what your thoughts. Well, I just heard your thoughts, but hatred? Is there any hatred left out there? I'd like to see it now. With 10 laps to go, that's when you unleash the hatred. We have
The dark side, yes.
11 laps to go right now, correct? So I hope so.
Long.
I hope we see something. But if we don't see anything, it's still been real good racing here. We've had our moments. Watkins gets loose again out of 2. 2 looks like trouble for him, but he held it.
I know someone who's not hoping for a caution or something. Davey Hendricks, as he's opened up a little bit of a gap, about 0.6 of a second over Biggs, but Biggs still not quite going away yet. I think if we get a caution late, I think that's going to be Biggs's moment to really shine here. He's definitely shown he's got some short run speed, and he's been able to hang up here on the long run, just not able to quite get around Davey, but he's definitely keeping him honest up there at the front.
Yeah, man, he's lurking.
He's been lurking, but let me ask you a question. Seriously, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I've never said it, and you guys give me your thoughts, but is that Davey Hendricks, is that his stage name? It just sounds like a race car driver, Did he come up with that out of thin air? Is his real name like Bob or something? Because that name sounds like a race car driver.
His real name is Saul Papadopoulos or something, maybe. I don't know.
Mike Concho.
Mike Concho, yeah.
I digress. Sorry.
As we see Chris Watkins again kind of riding that outside wall on that back straightaway, and man, he's just checking up the entire field behind him, letting the 27 of Mike Simone, who only just recently got his laps back. He's now sitting up there in a 12th. He's trying to sneak his way up into a possible top 10 after being down pretty early.
Yeah, Joe Canadian on YouTube saying this is going to be an awesome finish. I can't wait to see how this thing's going to turn out. And Thomas S. is saying going to be like 2001 Harvick and Gordon finish. I don't know if we'll see fireworks that bad, but
I hope so. But like you said, 8, 9, and 10, that's where we may see some fighting and hatred, and that could cause a green-white checker because they're getting after it back here. That's for sure. And Davey might not want to see it, but it could happen back here with this little fight they got going on.
Check out the 7 and the 11. They're fighting over this 4th spot. Gavin Marlin and Andrew Cole both still got pretty good fast race cars. Gavin's up to 22 spots on the day. He started in the back, but I think he just likes passing cars.
Yeah, it's a bidget game to him out here, apparently. When you're that good in real life, I guess it makes it easier here. I don't really know.
Him and Cole, neither one of them will give up. They're going at it, son.
Yeah, side by side they go, but the more they fight side by side, that's going to give Privet a little bit of breathing room as these guys tick away these laps as they go into turns number 3 and 4. Going to be 6 laps to go in this race. Davey Hendricks leading this thing off. He's now got a little over a second gap over Biggs, so Biggs probably definitely hoping for a caution here in the last couple laps. And we also got Angel Hernandez kind of moving backwards a little bit here late.
Yeah, let me tell you real quick why that happened inside the race. Flanagan just put his bumper on Angel Hernandez and turned him a little bit, so maybe there will be some hatred here if we get a chance.
A little aggression with 5 to go here when they take the stripe.
I'm sorry, Brown. I just had to mention that.
That's the kind of things we need mentioned as Brian Privet's starting to throw some good laps together here, inch his way back up to that back bumper of Biggs. He's still got a little ways to go, but he's trying to put his name on that second step of the podium there, and Gavin Marlin was able to get around Cobe, so he's now also going to try to chase down Privet to get his name onto that podium box.
Steve Davis says, "Do it for Dale" on Facebook. What does that mean to you, Adam?
It was probably the most revered, badass, NASCAR driver of all time. So do it for him. That's what he would have done. He would have turned somebody. He would have turned somebody. So maybe
you can
there's
get away with it.
Yeah, I don't know if you can anymore, but Flanagan sure tried to with Hernandez there, and maybe we'll see some payback next week. I'm not quite sure, but this thing's winding its way down.
One could only hope.
Oh no, as Tony Fry gets into that outside wall right in front of the 74, he's still going a little slow on that inside line. So we're going to be 3 wide here, kind of towards the back of the pack. And man, that was almost what Davey Hendricks' worst nightmare could have been, as he's now got a 2.5 second lead. But good job and a little bit of luck there from the 64. Just somehow finding a hole to get from the top line all the way down to the bottom.
Well, this is like in real life, where one of these bottom cars on a race team will just take it for the team and crash somebody, so we get a green-white checker. Is that going to happen? Right now, we only got about 5 seconds left.
And kind of running out of time to get that yellow flag that we're waiting for, as Davey Hendricks is about to cross the line. And so white flag, here we go, and we got a race here for a second and third, and Gavin Marlin's going to try to throw his name into this mix as well. Davey Hendricks is quite a ways out in front of these guys, so we're going to have to say he's probably going to win this off. We're going to have to actually follow this battle here kind of in second. Privet looking to the inside of Biggs as they come down into turn number 3. Gavin Marlin looking to maybe send it 3 wide. No, not able to make it stick. Coming up through that middle, he's going to look back low as both Privet and Biggs. And we're going to be 3 wide across the line, and it's going to be Biggs followed by Privet, followed by Marlin.
Privet just lost it, but he held it. Oh, he was racing his tail off. Privet was holding off Marlin and got, sideways like Nancy Kerrigan on ice skates there. But great job. Great end of the race, man.
And not to take any of the moment away from Davey Hendricks, your race winner. I mean, once when he got out in front, man, he was nothing but, nails. He was on top of it, and he ran the dang near, I would say, perfect race.
Damn near. I mean, he was dominating. Even with worn tires, on a worn tire strategy, he was one of those guys that only made 2 stops and made it work.
I think he scraped the wall maybe one time. That was it. And he sliced and diced his way through it. He had a couple issues, and he survived. That's what we've seen out of him, racing with him in the past. And hey, he's good at this stuff. So
Gavin. Sorry, bud.
No, go ahead.
Looks like Gavin Marlin's going to be your hard charger, the award winner of the day, as the 7 car of Gavin started in the back and finished 4th, up 22 spots. Good effort on the night.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Looks like the fastest lap of the day belongs to Manny Valdez, but he's
gone.
He's at the end, yeah. So hey, it was fun, and I think it's going to play into the next couple weeks, which we're going to end up the regular season series in the next few weeks in Nashville, I believe.
I believe you are correct, but let's get some of these interviews underway, and we're going to start with our 3rd place finisher. That would be the 55 of Brian Privet, who made a great charge there, trying to get his name up into second there late and clawing his way back up to that bumper of Biggs. And man, I haven't seen them kind of 3 wide finish for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th like that in a long time, man. That was an exciting finish.
I was sweating bullets, dude. I knew, I kind of recognized with about 6 to go that Gavin was going to catch me and I was going to catch Kevin at the exact same time. And it just, that was a crazy finish. I kind of want to apologize to Gavin because I mean I probably I spun. Yeah, I beat him. I checked the time. It was just 4/10, and I realized he had that run on the inside when he made it 3 wide, and I just jammed the throttle, and I guess it worked, and I got third. But props to Kevin for getting a crazy run on the outside. That whole last turn was awesome.
And Brian, we saw you early in the race clip the wall a couple times in that 55 machine. And starting back in 9th, I mean, you didn't have a bad starting position, but a little bit of adversity early. What was your mindset moving forward? Were you just charging as hard as you could? Were you trying to take care of your tires? Because we know it was hot out there today.
Yeah, I mean, when I hit the wall, I thought, race was kind of over for me. I'd finished like 15th, but then I was in a voice call with Manny for Bash Bros, and he said he was using his fast repair for damage from hitting the wall, and so I realized maybe I should be more aggressive with my fast repair. I'll use it, be fast again, and so I did that. But then I went past my pit stall, so I lost some time. I came out kind of far back. And so at that point, I kind of just resigned myself to, finishing like 7th or something. But then that caution came out right whenever there was a good enough gap, I guess. I think I was in 4th when the caution came out. And that was just a blessing and, got new tires and then just raced it out from there.
Yeah, so how did it feel going sideways into that finish line? were you thinking, I might get past here, and then it's over? What was your mindset there? Really good last lap battle with you and Biggs.
Yeah, I didn't. It was like I didn't want to hit anybody, especially because there was 2 other guys. Maybe it's one guy. It's kind of like, oh, you can kind of like bump him and you know what's going on. But there's 3 of us. So you hit one, the other one's going past you. And then I wanted to block Gavin. Then he'd already gotten inside of me, and I didn't want to dive into him. So yeah, I just jammed the throttle and spun out, and it worked.
Hey man, whatever gets the job done, and man, at a tricky track like this, man, a 3rd place finish is definitely something not to be ashamed about. That is a heck of an accomplishment, especially 110 laps here with probably 85% of that being under green flag. So you did a fantastic job up there. Do you have any shout outs for anybody or anything before we let you go?
This race, definitely shout out to Angel Hernandez, teammate. Whenever we had that restart after I think Chris Watkins and Gavin both got fresh tires, I mean it was a MVP defensive play from him. He was holding off like 4 cars while Andrew and I, the other teammates, were running 3rd and 4th. So that was definitely, if Angel hadn't played such great defense with those other cars, Gavin probably would have passed me. So shout out to him.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations on the 3rd place finish here tonight, and wish you best of luck for the remainder of the season, which is coming to a close.
Thank you, guys.
We'll now move up that leaderboard and get our 2nd place finisher in here, and that's going to be Mr. Kevin Biggs. And man, Kevin, it looked like you were right on that back bumper of Davey for quite a while on that kind of last run there, but just not quite enough to make a pass and get around him. But man, talk about a heck of a finish there for 2nd and 3rd, trying to close this one out. And you already battled hard enough, let alone trying to figure something out for that last lap.
Yeah, I was trying to get to the inside of him before 3 and 4. I think if I could get under him, then I would have forced him to run my line, and I was going to try his line out, but I couldn't get there. I'd get a good run off of 2, but it would die about halfway down the backstretch.
Well, you ought to be damn proud of how you performed today. Up 9 spots overall. That 18. We talked about your paint tonight. We really enjoy the change. We thought it was kind of a cool looking car, and that cool Twix paint job you got going on. But you got any shout outs you want to give tonight? I mean,
yeah, I'll shout out the guys that we race with week in and week out. They do a damn good job. It was a very good race. I thought it was going to go green, and then of course you guys and all the admins.
We thought it might too, huh, Adam?
Yeah, no, it was seriously close, I thought, and it's a tough track. That's an older surface, bumpy. and it was super hot out there. So it made it very impressive to watch. But I think this is going to catapult you right into the playoffs. You're sitting third right now before this race, so you're sitting pretty. The playoffs are here or coming in a couple weeks, so I think you're set up right for what's coming for the next few weeks. So good job.
Yeah, I gotta work and tweak a little things, but I think we'll be all right going into the playoffs.
Alrighty, man. Well, go grab a cold beverage of your choice. You definitely deserve it for that one, and wish you nothing but the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys.
And now going to our race winner. That's going to be Mr. Davey Hendricks, who pretty much took the lead relatively early on into this thing and just about never looked back. So I got to say, Davey, congratulations for driving that thing on some rails, man. You were kind of Mr. Consistent out there, but it also looked like Kevin Biggs might have put a little pressure on you there in that last little bit of a run.
Yeah, I was worried when we had like a 20-lap run, because I was not the quickest person on that short run. I'm consistent. I'll give myself that. I usually keep my tires in somewhat good of a shape, but on short runs, Biggs, Watkins, Manny, Privet, they were all like a lot faster than I was. I got lucky that Biggs could never get under me going into 3, because he had a run every time out of 2, and he was on my tail, but it was just a little short of getting under me.
Yeah, we kind of a two-parter question. Did you come into this race with a strategy as far as what kind of pit strategy were you trying to break it into to a two-stop race like you did, or you kind of hoping you get a few cautions and get 3 stops in?
No. What's the second part? My bad.
Oh no. Go ahead, man.
I definitely the longer runs we can get, the better. I was salty when that first caution came out, because I was dead set 40 laps a second time, pit on that lap 80, and then take it all the way to 110 from there. So I was gonna 2-stop it, but I was really banking on keeping those long runs up and just growing my lead. So when the cautions came out, I was, like I said, I'm not a quick short run guy, so I was sweating it at the end.
The second part of that question was going to be like restarts and lines moving forward as y'all broke your tires in. Was that outside line really important to you guys? We saw a couple guys that ran really, really high, and I'm talking clipping fenders, but it looks like you kind of had a different kind of line. You didn't run as close to the wall as some of them guys.
Oh no, I was, and I feel like that was like really my biggest difference, is that I never ran the wall unless I had to. I think the one time I ran the wall was when I had to get past Watkins, because he was taking my low line away. But no, my plan was stay low, run that white line as much as I can, easy into the corner so I don't burn up my right front, easy out so I don't destroy the right front, and it worked out. I saved. That's all I saw. That was my only chance to win, was saving those tires on longer runs.
You definitely did it. That was a great job.
Yeah, and I think the only little issue I saw, you scraped the wall maybe once, but there was a point, and I think it was about midway through the race, you may be able to remember this, where you looked like smoke through a keyhole. There was like a car on the outside. I think the 5 car was on your inside, and there was another car, and you just kind of worked your way through. I think Manny was one of them, and he hit the wall, and do you remember that little run there?
Because it was me, Manny, and the 5 were, because like Manny was on the wall, because that was his line the whole race, and then the 5 was on the bottom. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and shove it, and maybe we stay. Maybe we can make it. But honestly, I would have backed out of it, because Manny was going to get the run, and I wouldn't have been able to get past him. And then the 5 was going to come up, just because that's the line, so I wouldn't have blamed him. But when I heard Manny scrape the wall on the right side, I knew I could just stay on the throttle and keep going and get to the wall. And then in the next corner, it was me, the 5, and the 74, where almost 3 wide going in there, and that was a terrifying moment. because I'd have been on the wall in that one.
Yeah, no, I thought that was the defining moment of the race for you. The race was really good, but for you, I thought that was pretty amazing, and you just shredded right through and made it look easy. So congratulations on the win again.
Thank you.
All right, man. Got any shout-outs before we let you go?
Oh, all the sponsors we got. Appreciate everyone coming on, helping us, with this Xfinity season. You guys up in the booth, all the admins for putting this on. All the guys that show up every week. I love how clean the racing is. Like, that's probably been my biggest shock, from even my first ARCA season and the ARCA season I started in this year. The racing is so much better than Xfinity. I love these long runs. We don't have caution fest. Everyone's smart and uses their head. So it's like a credit to the guys that race in the series, because it is, and we have big fields too. So it's not even like there's 10 cars. So all the hats off to them.
Awesome.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations picking up the big win here today at Hotlanta. Davey Hendricks, go rest those tires, man, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Whoo, boy! Oh boy, boys, that was that was a little bit of something.
That was exciting, man.
And we learned some things there in those interviews we can talk about next week. But yeah, that was really cool. Good race. Atlanta, super hot. I'm looking forward to ARCA, Midwest Days of Thunder, this Thursday with those guys running out here.
Absolutely. So let's go through and give you all a finishing order here tonight. Tell you where your favorite driver finished up, and Davey Hendricks picking up the win here today with Kevin Biggs trying hard, just not being able to quite get it done down the stretch. He's going to have a solid second place finish, but it was close. Brian Privet and Gavin Marlin all closed up really quickly on that final lap. Brian Privet finishing in third with Gavin Marlin up 22 spots. Hard charger of the day finishing in fourth. Andrew Cove had a nice run today. He finished in fifth. Greg Klein, not too bad. Couldn't quite get back up to fourth where he started today. He's going to finish in sixth. Ethan Flanagan had a solid run here today, up 14, finishing in seventh. Pete Van Sprundle in that 80, going to finish here in eighth, with Angel Hernandez in ninth. And unfortunately for Chris Watkins, he tailed off, but still a top 10 for him.
Yeah, and thanks to Chris Watkins and Adrenaline Spike Designs for sponsoring the Xfinity series here at MDOT. We sure appreciate you. And if you're looking for a cool car paint, go check out Adrenaline Spiked Designs. The 27 of Michael Simone, Red Stick Mike, finishing 11th. Able to get back up on that lead lap late. Had some trouble early, a couple laps down. Got those laps back. Ended up finishing 11th. So congrats, Mike. And 64 of Anthony Fry. He was in it all night. We saw a lot of side-by-side with him. The 8 of Johnny Nidick. First car one lap down in 13th. William Jester in the 74, finishing 14th. Good to have him back. 45 of Al Corey in 15th. The 28 of Gary Sargent, in 16th place. Tim Harmon, one of those angry idiot cats, in the 73 machine, finishing 17th. MPN, one of your MPN drivers, John J. Timms, in the 77, finishing 18th. Alan Kewins, another angry idiot, in 19th. The Admiral, Carlos Ramos, in the 90 machine, rounds out your top 20.
Yeah, number 1, Jason Ricketts. 21st place, Alan Dixon had a rough day there. He mowed a little grass in the infield. 22nd. Hubba Bubba Machine, Alex Goff, 23rd. Matthew Spires, 37, 24th. Number 5 car, Michael Cheney, in 25th. 89, Tide Machine of Gary Sack III, 26. 93 of Isaac Wilson had a tough one, 27th. And even a tougher day, the 72 of Manny Valdez, finishing dead last. First time I think I've seen that, in 28th place.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so as well. As we kind of come to a close here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. You could kind of hear us talking about it a little bit, how this Xfinity season is quickly coming to a close. There gonna be at Nashville Fairgrounds next week, so you definitely do not want to miss that kind of action coming from a field of cars such as this. As always, again, thank you to Adrenaline Spike Designs for being our series sponsor here this year. And, for Alan English and Adam Turner, I'm Alan Brown, and we wish you all nothing but the best of luck and look forward to seeing you all again.
We on.
See ya.